Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. Today we have, after a while, finally another test server showcase. And don't worry, we're not just going to be looking at this massive list of the changes for the February update. See what I did there? I said list of changes, not the preliminary, because I'm struggling with that word. Anyway, so I'm going to read through some of the things that I find interesting for myself. Obviously, as many people, as many opinions, I'm just going to kind of showcase the things I find interesting and useful to myself. Not to say that all of the rest of the stuff isn't useful or interesting. It is really good, polished up details for the Steam launch, but I'm just going to point out and show a footage from the test server of some of my favorite things. For example, the very first one, I opened up the KO Fox's developers post about these changes, and it says, for a number of allied weapons with aperture sights, the camera positioning has been changed and the stability while aiming has been improved during movement and shooting. Oh my god, thank you. Now the rear sight is no longer too close to the camera while aiming for the following weapons: Thompson M1, M1A1, M1928A1 with a 30, 50 or 100 round mags, M1, M1A1, M2, M2A1 carbines, M1, M1E5, M1C Garand, T20E1, which is already a good gun, Johnson M1941, Farquhar thing, sorry for the notification, M50, M55, Riesing, UDM42, Owen, and yada yada yada. So for me, you're gonna see the footage of the paratrooper 100 round Thompson, crouch down, is that what you call? A little bit down, crouch down, aim down the sight, and walking towards the target in full burst of the 100 rounds. I'll put side to side the test server and the live server so you can see the difference. We're going to do exactly the same test for the T20E1, but before that you're going to see the M2 carbine, the same test, and then you're going to see the T20E1, the same test. Again, crouch down, aiming towards the target and walking slowly towards it in full burst and trying to control the movement of the gun and see if there's much of a difference for the stability changes. That is something cool that I really appreciate. Maybe a lot more allied weapons are going to be more useful hopefully now after this. There are a lot of small details that are going to be improving in the upcoming February update. If you want to really read into detail, then just I'll leave a link hopefully in description. I'll try and remember this time. But for example, improving the way soldiers die when hit by bullets. Like, it's a small thing, but for the cinematic reasons, it's gonna look pretty cool. Rework the damage for the fragmentation grenades. For a soldier without vitality increase, the lethal blast radius of a fragmentation grenade is 4 meters. That's it. Like, if you don't have vitality increase perk, any soldier 4 meters away, gone. Knockdown radius 7 meters, and you're gonna get splash damaged and hurt within 10 meters still. So you need to be at least 10 meters or further away from the fragmentation grenade to not take any damage at all. It looks like finally we're not gonna have the paratrooper crates that get stuck somewhere up in the air or fall through the ground. So that is a really cool thing. Then there's a bunch of weapons that the rate of fire has been increased, reduced, and increased. So you're gonna read for yourself. Some of the weapons have been given a bit more ammo capacity, like some of the Gevers, mostly the Gevers, and some more from 30 to 50 rounds. Apparently some of the magazine drop sounds for several rifles have been changed depending on what surface you are standing on. The sound is gonna be different. Obviously, if you drop something on a grass or a wooden floor or a concrete floor, it should always usually sound different. So that's a little detail that I find very nice. The name of some of the weapons that characters exceeded 36 have been shortened to fit easily in the combat log. That's pretty funny. For people that do know what that means, adjusted the parallax for the certain scopes. So yeah, for someone that knows what that means, there it is. Various customization options have been added for the Soviet event paratroopers, and I think it's just for like the overall camouflages. I was scrolling through and trying to figure out if this is new or it was already in the game, but I mean, you can tell me. Semi-automatic firing mode has been added to the MG30 and MG34. More winter uniforms have been added for the US Army in the Ardennes. Doesn't mean that you're gonna get like a white camo or something. There's just the kind of a bulgy coat that they have in Ardennes, at least in Enlisted. You got like another 2 or 3 options of kind of the same but a little bit different, and same goes for the headwear and I believe the pants as well. So yeah, a few more options if you really want to change that. Average height of a Japanese soldier has been corrected. Do what you will with this information. Now, the cool one for me, added new improvement effects for bullets and shells hitting various calibers. You're going to see a video of me shooting a front plate of a Tiger II with an IS-2, so one of the largest cannons in the game, shooting one of the best armored tank in the game, intentionally not to penetrate, but to see what the mark is going to be. So you're going to see the 122 APHE BC shell hitting a front plate and leaving a massive scuff, and then you're going to see the 122 HE shell smacking next to that, and see what the difference is. And I think the little details are really cool. You bear in mind that this game is going to go on Steam, so we really need to polish out a lot of little things, little bugs or improvements. So I'm very happy with that. And now if you shoot lighter armored vehicles like small arms, either plain machine guns or personnel machine guns, and you do end up surviving the battle, you will see all of the battle scars of your vehicle actually staying marked in the armor, which I think again is really cool for more of the immersive factor in the game. Puddles no longer disappear after tanks drives over them. I didn't even know that was a thing. And now all ground vehicles without exception leave tire tracks, which is really cool because it's really easy to follow the tire tracks when you're flying the plane. Sometimes it's difficult to spot the vehicle itself, but if you follow the tire tracks, you can actually find them like that. So that's a little cool thing there as well. Event tasks are now displayed in the battle when opening the map. So when you forget what you needed to do for the tasks, you can just hit the map and you will be reminded of what tasks you actually need to do. Because sometimes I've been in a game thinking, what did I need to do? I just can't remember until you end the match and check again. Added the ability to quickly view perks list of the soldiers. That is really cool. You're going to click down, there's a little arrow, and it's just going to give you all 3 sets of perks, and it's just going to show you what they are. You can hover over and read what the perks are without actually opening the full perks tree. I did notice firing off the IS-2 top machine gun that there was smoke coming out of it after I stopped firing, so that was really cool. I think that the tank main cannons already had it, but apparently now they're gonna have more smoke coming out of the barrel. I don't know. And the barrels and guns heat up when overheated. That sounds weird and interesting. I want to see how that's gonna actually be visible. Like, are we gonna see a hot barrel of a tank? I don't know. Can you burn yourself on that? There are a lot of graphic improvements in terms of like terrain, explosions, the dirt gets kicked up. I think I'm gonna show you the clip where I shoot the ground and it actually looks like a freaking movie. The bullets hitting the ground. The leaves are gonna be blowing everywhere, and the snow is gonna be falling off trees in bulge. And there's gonna be a lot more little details and effects of bullet projectile ricochets. Apparently added effects of explosions for anti-tank, anti-personnel mines, and TNT charges. Well, I tried out the TNT charge and then I tried to shoot an AP mine. You tell me if it looks any different than it is on the live server. I can't say I noticed a massive difference. What I did actually notice, a HE shell from the tank blasting in the ground. You can actually tell that like you can see a little explosion. You can tell that that's an HE shell that you fired, not an AP. Massive improvements for AI soldiers. They can be sent into trenches and then we'll use it as a cover, and they will try to not leave the trench. AI soldiers now react more actively to the player's markers unless there are expected a previously detected enemy emerge from a cover. So if you do the red pin, you know how the AI soldiers like, there's a red pin, oh, I'm gonna look that way. Like they take a while. They take a while to turn to your mark, and now they're gonna be bang on more active unless they've suspected an enemy somewhere else. AI soldiers now finish off heavily wounded enemies in hand-to-hand combat. Is okay, because sometimes you get knocked down and there's enemies AI running around you and they're doing nothing about you, and you actually make sure you can manage to medkit yourself, get up and clear them. So I would, if they would be my AI, I would want them to finish someone that's knocked down. And in the brackets they said it's not a war crime, we're in the video game, so just bear that in mind as well. Improved memorization of the last known position of the spotted enemy by AI. Soldiers will be more vigilant and will wait longer for attacks from dangerous directions, which is again good. During a descent on a ladder, AI soldiers will get stuck less often. Doesn't mean they won't get stuck, but they'll get stuck less often. So again, as little as improvement that is, we will definitely take that. It seems like the AI overhaul is going to be quite drastic here. Yeah, I just wish there wouldn't be so good through the grass, but like more intelligence in terms of where to look and how to react is always welcome. There's going to be some missions added. Added missions are the Munda Trail Shimzu Hill invasion, Dominant Heights South invasion, and the Reich Cantelary West invasion. So if you play any of those maps, any of those campaigns, shall I say, I think it's Pacific, Bulge, and the Reich is Berlin. That's probably the only 3 maps you will ever get now, because whenever they add new missions or add new locations, they just completely overdo them in the matchmaking. And then there are a bunch of vehicle spawns improved, and capture zones, and ticket bleeds, speeds, and a lot of other changes that we're not really gonna go through. I can't find where it was said anymore, but like the destruction of overall environment when shot with a tank cannon or explosion or artillery, like there's gonna be stuff that is gonna be destroyed easier, and hopefully it's gonna make for a less clunky of a tank gameplay, at least, because it is very clunky if you compare this to realistic battles in War Thunder, where it's rather smooth actually to drive around in a tank. But yeah, in Enlisted it's still very clunky, so if there would be less things to get stuck on, it could just easier to destroy them and just crush them, that would be very, very lovely. But yeah, this has been the preliminary list of changes for February update. Who knows when that is going to come around, but I'm happy that we're doing these little things. Obviously a lot of these things I will never notice as the increases of or reductions of the fire rates or reload times and things like that, but the ones that I will definitely notice I have highlighted for myself. So now you can check this out in the link in the description if I never forgot to post it. And yeah, let me know what you think, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Goodbye.